welcome back. We got a fucking old school episode. We got a bunch of fucking idiots here.
That's not very old school. That's just the school.
We're I don't know, we're balls deep in this Memorial Day weekend. I can't decide if I'm more drunk or hungover.
I fucking yacked this morning.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
I did not feel good.
No, it's been a rough morning. Vinny just went downstairs to go back to sleep.
Yeah. I thought you'd already be drunk by now.
I know. That's how you know we did some damage yesterday.
Also, what is this? Day 2? Oh no, he drank 2 days. He turned 30, and he can't make the third day anymore.
Yeah, I know. Fucking loser.
Weak.
So we got a familiar voice in the show. Finn's back, and Dickie's back too. Also.
My name's Andrew.
Hey, so I vaguely think we talked about this drunkenly yesterday, but
Probably.
did you hear Robert Pattinson? It doesn't want to work out now as Batman.
God, that's
Bastard.
I was defending Robert Pattinson too. I was like, hey, he could be a good Batman. But fuck you. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you can't do a push-up if you're playing Batman?
Yeah. And so his reasoning was that he didn't want to create like unhealthy body stereotypes. So he's refusing to work out. He doesn't want to be a shredded Batman.
I get that for any role but superhero. Or like
not only that
hero.
too, it's like, it's not like he's like Doctor Strange or something like that. Like, Batman physically beats up people.
He's the
That's
only...
his power.
And
He
he
doesn't
doesn't
have
have
a
powers.
superpower.
He
Yeah, he
has
doesn't-
to rely
He
on
needs to be in great shape.
Yeah, his superpower is being shredded.
Like, if the Flash is skinny, whatever, fine. He's got super speed, but
Yeah.
I need to believe that Batman can kick like 10 dudes' asses.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is it's like, so he's just not working out at all.
No.
Okay. Regular adults work out.
Right.
Like
Right.
regular people go to the gym.
Oh, that's an unfair standard.
But like, it's not because he's an actor he can't work out. Now this is like the fucking golf shit where it's like, I don't want to work out too much and ruin my game.
Yeah.
You'll shoot 110 regardless. Like,
Yeah.
regular people, like, it is okay just to exercise.
You know, like basketball players, they don't want to do like chest
Anything.
and shoulders.
They don't
Because,
wanna do
except throw off the shot.
Can you imagine this Bruce Wayne just like smokes Camel Crushes and like Monster Energy drinks in the morning?
He'd be like what Wolverine should be.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, I think I was not excited at all about the new Batman because when I heard it was Robert Pattinson, I was like, oh, that's kind of bullshit. And now that this just came out, now I really am not excited at all.
I would say the script is a good idea though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's a bad actor. It's just,
He's gonna be the weak part.
well, like, there shouldn't be a Batman that I think I could kick his ass. You know what I mean? Like, that's the.
Yeah.
Like, you should look at Batman like, oh, that guy would fuck people up.
He's bringing back the '90s Batman, where you don't really know if he's like
Even
Batman
Ben
or just a
Affleck when he
regular
was
rich
fucking drinking fucking Bud Heavies and crushing Marlboros.
Yeah.
Like,
he was
Ben Affleck could still fuck you up.
Yeah.
At least he's big. He's like physically imposing. He's a big dude.
Yeah, he
Isn't
looks
he
like-
like 6'2"?
He got pretty shredded for like the Batman v Superman movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like kind of like a fat drunk in Justice League, but yeah, he's an imposing guy.
Blastoise status, full power,
Yeah.
real raw power.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson seems like a guy that, number one, he has a complexion of someone who hasn't left his house in 3 years.
He's got that going.
Yeah.
No,
I'm only out at night.
he's a creature of the night, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be like 75-pound Batman with like no muscle mass whatsoever.
It's just weird.
This one's just way better at fighting and being fast. Slightly faster. It's nimble.
I'm trying to find his fucking height and weight. My fucking phone is just being a real fucking bitch right now.
I feel like he's like not even 175
Yeah,
pounds.
Robert
he's
Pattinson, if I had to guess, he's maybe like 5'8", 5'9",
165.
like 160
I
pounds.
was gonna say, like-
hold on, this is disgusting.
Like a taller version.
6'1", 165.
That's gross.
Ooh.
So he's got the height though.
I
So
was
all he
right
needs to
about
do.
the weight.
Listen, I'm not asking you to be
Yeah.
like fucking The Rock or anything, but just get to it. Like, so make it seem like you engage in regular physical activity.
What are you
Please.
gonna do with that height?
Huh?
You're just gonna have that height and not just beef up if you're gonna be Batman?
I'm gonna be. Like,
You're just gonna be a twig Batman.
I do have a picture of him without a shirt on. You know, I saved it to my
that's
phone
that's
for.
like the
Yeah.
Twilight.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
Listen,
that doesn't look like Batman. That looks like Twilight.
No, like,
Yeah,
listen,
Twilight.
there's nothing wrong with being 160 pounds and 6'1". If you want to be Robert Pattinson, the douchebag actor. But if you want to be Bruce Wayne Batman, you gotta put the muscle on. Look, Colin Farrell's throwing on a bunch of weight to play the Penguin. That's acting.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about
Look
that.
at fucking Christian Bale.
Dude, you got,
Christian Bale has changed his body so many fucking times.
dude, he was like 140 pounds in Machinist. It was gross.
Yeah.
And then he was like fucking 225 in Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Like, it was
He's
crazy.
absolutely shredded. Steroids are
He
great.
doesn't
Yeah.
get a lot of fat
Oh, yeah.
on the face.
Huh?
He doesn't get a lot of fat in the face. He always looked the same. I mean, he looked like he was dying when he was like
In
on
the
size.
Machinist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You looked like pretty fat and sick in Vice. Like he looked like a guy that could be having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Made a good crackhead in the boxing one.
The fighter, yeah, he was Dickie Yucklin.
Ah,
Dickie Yucklin.
There
That's
you
another
go.
good Dickie.
fuck them.
Great Dickie. There's some great Dickies in the world.
Yeah.
I'm not-
Dickie jeans.
I'm not one of them.
Dick Pride.
You're a good Dickie.
I'm not one of them, so don't call me that. that's my logic.
Yeah, was that a good movie? The Vice.
I liked it. I thought it was
Yeah.
good. I don't
heard
know.
A lot of people said some really good things about it, but I never ended up seeing it.
The acting's good. I don't know if I believe every single part of it. Like
Yeah.
George Bush W. Bush kind of looks like a schmuck in it. Which I mean, I'm sure he was a little bit of a schmuck, but I don't think you can be a complete schmuck and become the president.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So I don't know, but it was interesting. Well acted.
That's why Biden has no chance.
What?
Dude, that fucking
He's a
guy.
fucking schmuck.
No, that gives him a better chance, right?
No, he's a complete
He's too much.
schmuck.
It's too much smuck.
Oh yeah, way too much schmuck.
Yeah, the smuck to non-smuck ratio is something.
Never go full schmuck.
No.
Between the not speaking English right and the fucking like all the sex scandal shit that's gonna come out.
Yeah, didn't someone say?
Did he fall and raped her? Yeah, like some girl who used to work for him or something.
Yeah.
I think they buried it too.
I
Yeah.
vaguely
Well, the
remember hearing
coronavirus
that.
buried it, right?
Yeah.
It just became something no one wanted to talk about.
Well,
they
that
just-
was my conspiracy theory that
well,
like, the media is just covering. The media is blowing up the coronavirus right
Yeah.
now and
Just
trying to
for
stretch it
anything.
out, just so they stop talking about politics and like,
Yeah.
hopefully Biden can like just sneak his way in,
Honestly, like he
which isn't gonna work.
What
They
sinister
had-
cabal is doing this? Come on.
The cabal.
they had a good
like
plan,
the
but
cabal.
I don't think anyone's that smart enough to pull off something like that.
I don't know.
Most people suck. I really don't think they can keep like an organization like that
Nah,
going.
man, the world is full of conspiracies. Nothing is
Everywhere you look.
nothing is
Yeah.
as it seems.
You just saw that glitch in the wall, didn't you? We're in a simulation.
Yeah.
Not to mention that cat's walked by way too many times. Deja vu.
Same time every day.
Yeah.
How'd you know the name of the cat?
Fuck. To quote my hero, whoa.
Whoa.
I know kung fu.
I still think there's a slight chance that
Skies.
they pull a fast one and they don't even fucking nominate Biden.
Yeah, that might be happening.
Yeah.
I wonder,
Yeah.
I wonder if they get fucking Sanders to that or someone else.
No, they don't want
Oh,
Sanders.
No,
Yeah,
they
but
try
he
and
would be
run
the
with,
one
like
that would, like-
Klobuchar,
He'd
is
be
what
the
I
one
heard.
with all those
I feel like
that electoral votes.
They
stuff.
really fucked up because I thought they had a really good candidate in Mayor Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he didn't-
he's kind of a schmuck.
he didn't have
I
any
didn't like it
experience
either.
either. Like
Yeah.
running like a. I mean, I seems like a good guy.
That's
like,
what,
well,
he seemed like a good guy at least.
the only character flaw that I have for him is the fucking gall of being the mayor of a small town and think he can run the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got a question that was easy about like the gun violence thing, how he didn't like, oh, they're like, why didn't you fire the chief of police or some stupid shit? And he couldn't answer anything. Like they got him really easily. Like he folded fast. So
Yeah.
and they start getting more stuff.
And then I mean, they should have ran with fucking Tulsi. I think she was the best candidate.
She was
I-
too,
the
she was
guy-
too dangerous for them, too hot to handle, man.
Yeah.
I liked
Um,
Inslee the most. He's the governor of Washington.
I didn't even.
He was an early guy in the debates.
I like
liked
Yang.
him. Oh, Yang Gang.
Yang
Yeah,
Gang.
I was a Yang
Hashtag
guy.
Yang Gang.
Bring him back for this. Have him,
You know what's
have him
really
sleep
funny
in.
is that now it's almost like, well, clearly, yeah, but he was like ahead of his time when he was promoting UBI, and now all of a sudden with like the coronavirus and everything, everyone got the stimulus checks, which is like a way. It's like kind of like UBI.
Yeah.
It was a one-time thing, but and everyone loved that, and now everyone loves Andrew Yang.
Yeah,
He's got this like groundswell of support now
Right.
that just happened in the last like 2 or 3 months because people started getting the stimulus checks, and they're like,
the guy
oh,
made it.
$1,200 a month, huh?
Do you think?
Hey, wasn't there a guy that said he wanted to give us $1,000 a month?
It can be done.
Yeah.
Do you think that helps get the stimulus checks going? Like him saying that, purely saying it for like 3 months? Like,
No,
we're
I
like,
think-
hey, you know what? We should do this.
I think if anything, it's the other way around. Like, I think the stimulus checks made him more popular. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because like people
Yeah.
were like listening to him talk, and they were like, "Yeah, that can't happen."
Yeah.
That's crazy.
there's no fucking way you'd be able to pull that off.
There's no way you can
2020,
do
hold
that.
my beer.
Yeah.
Literally 2 months later.
Yeah.
Oh, we did it.
I actually don't hate the idea of UBI, but I think it should be in replace of like the other welfare programs. Because like if you put UBI on top of everything else that already exists, we're gonna run out of money.
What's UBI? People give you, the
Universal-
government gives you money,
Universal basic income.
and
So
they just give
everyone-
it to you whether you work or not.
Everyone gets $1,000 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the big problem is if you get used to that, then inflation happens. Like everything's
Mm-hmm.
just like it's just like canceling out the $1,000.
Right. Over
Yeah.
time, yeah, it would.
So you'd have to always fight back against that. Those money people, those accountants that
Well, it's
control
just
the world.
when the cost of anything goes up, it fit like people.
That's the cabal that runs the world. What is it, the Federal Reserve?
Bad for us. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's might as
They're
well
not
be
even
worse.
part of the government. The government doesn't even own their own money.
Well, the
How
funny
fucking
It's not real.
How
yeah, I was
fucking
gonna say
weird is
there
that?
actually is no real money. That's how powerful they
Yeah,
are.
I know.
There's nothing backing up the U.S. dollar
No.
except for wishes and prayers, I guess.
So-
It's like
So
a
what do
fucking
they
piece
do?
of something written on a piece of paper that says like
Those
I'm
are the
good for it.
geniuses.
Those are just as good as money. Those are IOUs.
Yeah.
This one's for a car. You're gonna want to hold on
Hold
to
on
it.
to
It's like 150 years ago. Like we just gave them all the gold, and they're like, "You're just giving this, alright." And then
Yeah.
we said, gold's not worth anything, but here's this paper that says the same thing for nothing."
And imagine
So we
like
keep the gold.
Money
in.
is such a weird concept. Like if you actually stop and think about it, it's like what the fuck even is it really? It like represents like work, theoretically.
it's a promise for goods or something like that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking when we were talking about that though, like the Federal Reserve, just imagine like a bunch of old dudes with beards and like white robes like in the future that just like come out at noon every day and tell you how much a dollar's worth. Dong! The
That's
price
like
of the
in,
dollar has dropped.
Well, it's like in Rick and Morty when he takes down the fucking Galactic Empire by changing, what was it, the Floople?
Yeah,
Or
the
whatever it's
Floople
called.
ball,
The
their
Floople
dollar.
core to 0.
1 to 0.
It was worth 1 of itself, and now it's worth 0 of itself. The president just takes a fucking gun and shoots himself in the head.
Guys, there's a solution. Nothing. Just kill himself.
But yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, it's the same, like Louis C.K. did like a bit on that too, like with God, and it's like jobs. You need jobs for what? Money. For money for what? For like food, and there's food on the ground. yeah, but it doesn't have bacon around
it. There's food on the ground. What the fuck do you need money for?
Remember that one? It's like I love shit everywhere for you.
Fucked it up.
You fucking idiots.
What the fuck is going on?
Turn around for 1 second.
He's fucking awesome. I hope he starts to make a comeback too.
I mean,
I think he filmed his special and put it out on his website, I think.
Oh, really?
Somewhat recently.
check
yeah.
that out.
Yeah. Or it was like in the works. Maybe he was planning on filming it before the world shut down.
He's like 8 months too early for getting caught. Like it would have been perfect right now when there's no comedians out. Like just blow by,
Yeah.
come back. Hey, guys.
He never. I mean, what he did was super fucking weird.
Yeah.
But it wasn't wrong. Like he never like raped anybody. He never put his hands on anybody.
Hey, just
He did ask.
He
too.
asked them. He was like, "Hey, can I jerk off in front of you?" And they said, "Yeah." So he did.
Yeah.
Like that. Like they could have said no.
Yeah.
But the implication.
But they had power. He had power over them.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
like.
thing.
But I'm sure there were people that said no, and he probably didn't do it.
Yeah. It's just the people that said yeah didn't know they could say no.
Right.
But still.
It's not his fault. You're a fucking scared bitch.
Yeah.
The implications of that statement, I just don't want to touch.
You're making it hard.
Yeah.
I was saying, let's kind of gloss over that.
Ooh, too hot to handle, huh?
Can you help us stay on your side?
You could have said no.
But you know what I do hear about? I hear that he's actually like a complete asshole to younger comedians, though.
Is he?
Yeah, well, that's the way it used to be. So that was so listening to like Rogan talk about like back in the day, and he said it's more so it was East Coast comics, so Boston, mainly Boston and New York.
That's so weird.
And they were saying that back in like the 80s and the 90s, that's how comedy was. Like everyone fucking hated each other because they were all everyone was competing for different time slots and shit, and you had Leto and Letterman that were fucking going against each other. So like nobody worked together, like no one really did anything. And then it was guys out on the West Coast that started to change that a little bit, and then I think Rogan kind of like took it and ran with it because now he's got his little like crew of friends now is like the most famous comedians in the whole fucking world.
Well, it depends. Well, I think Spoon said it too. It's like the opportunities change where you weren't fighting for one or two clubs at this time.
Right.
Now you can release, you can video.
It wasn't
HBO, YouTube,
it wasn't just
like
one
Netflix.
one special like one channel of Comedy Central that was doing specials too. So it's like you have to fight for that. Now you have Comedy Central, HBO, Showtime, Netflix, Hulu. You know what I mean? Amazon.
Everyone has.
Everyone, you can put your fucking shit out anywhere.
It's funny. It's like tiers now. Like people get on Netflix, they get millions of dollars. There's like some comedians I know that have
Crackle.
Have you heard of that one? There's dozens of YouTube.
That's an app just for like comedy.
Is it still around? I thought one of them closed down like 2 years ago.
Could have been closed. Yeah.
Someone bought Crackle and they turned it into like a really shitty streaming thing.
Yeah.
I think I watched like news radio like for a week on it.
Yeah, but like there's all the tiers now, so like there's no need to compete. You're gonna make plenty of money selling to YouTube your special.
Right.
Like the guy Sewage Joe, Kurt Fox from Parks and Rec. He's got a special. Like Trevor Noah, the guy from Daily Show now. He's got
Andrew Schultz released his shit on YouTube too. He didn't bring it to any big studio or anybody. He just he released it. I think in like 4 or 5 parts, every week on YouTube. It was like 10 to 15 minute clips, and then if you watch them all together, that's this hour special. But
it's funny you say that because Louis C.K. was one of the first people to actually take that big gamble because instead of he filmed a special instead of going to HBO or anything else, he just put it for free on his website and asked for a $5 donation, and he made like he made a shit ton of money and changed the whole model.
Yeah.
I just heard he's an asshole.
Then he lost a lot of that money after because he made that show.
Horace and Pete, I kind of like that.
I liked it, but like I don't think he had.
It was called Louis, right?
Yeah, Louis.
I like Louis.
Louis was a big success. That got all the awards and all that too.
No, he lost all the money because he made that movie. I think it was I Love You, Daddy, or something like that. That's never gonna get released.
He's the cop in Parks and Rec too, right?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of like random like big actors that have come through Parks and Rec.
Yeah, well, it was an NBC show.
Yeah, it's NBC, and it's written by all comics, and they produce it together. So like, they kind of took it, and NBC's like, hey, we're gonna ruin it if we do anything.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
First season kind of sucked, but I like.
That's when they changed it up.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah, they got rid of
Brandon Danowitz.
Yeah.
Also, they kind of like it seemed like in the beginning Leslie was supposed to be like a Michael, like from like The Office.
She was like neurotic and kind of like incompetent at first.
Yeah,
like, let's make her
hyper competent and annoying.
She's a public figure, so let's not make her the people we hate.
I never got into The Office, but from what I hear, like obviously those two are like some of the bigger ones. I feel like I would like Parks and Rec way more than The Office.
Yeah,
they're like it's like the same thing a little bit.
Yeah.
I did try to give The Office a try. I think I watched like 3 episodes. It just I couldn't do it. And like even like a lot of people talk about Diversity Day as being one of like the funnier I did not like that episode. People talk about how funny it is. I'm like, I did not it felt so fucking forced.
Forced and awkward.
Yeah, it was forced, awkward.
Well,
like
that's the people that like the Michael Scott thing where he's like an awkward guy. Like the people that like that, I don't like his awkward stuff. As much as I like Love You Man and awkward stuff,
Is Diversity Day the first season, or is that like?
It's like the 3rd episode.
Because the first season's a lot more like the English show, where it's like everyone's a lot more abrasive and dickish, and it's kind of like more awkward stuff. Mm-hmm. And then the 2nd season, it kind of becomes like a different type of show.
Right.
They do that little like it's a family without being a family thing going on.
Yeah, like it becomes a little more upbeat and like quirky like later on. Like the first season's like like English, like, you know, being an asshole type of humor.
Well, they do the it's them against Michael thing too. Like they're all just trying to do their job, and this asshole boss is an idiot.
Huh. Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I do hope Louis does come back because he was fucking hilarious. He was so good. I also kind of feel bad that someone fucked him over and they recorded.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, the Parkland thing.
About the Parkland shit.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And the joke wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to work it out, and someone recorded it and then puts it on YouTube, and now everyone's like.
And also, it's like part of the show. Like you always see the opener, like it sets the tone and everything.
Yeah.
Like you build a tone. Like he
Right.
builds. He comes out and he says something nonsensical.
Right.
So later on, it could be worse.
Right.
And
Right.
I bet
not
he-
be like.
And
a
like
big outrage thing.
sometimes jokes don't work. So
Yeah.
like that could have been the first time he told that joke, and then after that he could have been like, it just really didn't land, and it's too hot. Like I'm gonna leave it. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
think
you have no idea.
I think you could have made that joke work because I've heard him joke about child molestation, and it was fucking hilarious.
Well, I mean, he could make anything work.
Yeah.
He's great.
The one on SNL, it's like,
He told a joke about teachers, and it was hilarious. Like it was like teachers, biggest fucking failures in the world. You're gonna choose to get paid so little and have the worst people in front of you all day. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, he. Who would you put in like your top 3? We'll go 5. Top 5 comedians, like of all time.
comedians.
Yeah.
He was my favorite at one point.
Mine's gonna be a little dated because like I don't know who a lot of the people are now, and so I guess the good thing about having all these options is you have so much to watch, but the bad thing is now I don't know who said what jokes. Who's the Australian guy that drinks the beer on stage?
Jim Jeffries.
I like
Oh,
him.
I saw him in a show.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald.
He used to like what's his name, the roast guy.
Jeff Ross.
No, he's the roast guy. The
Craig-
guy who's a dick at all times.
Greg
Yeah,
Giraldo.
Oh, Jeselnik.
Jeselnik.
Oh,
He's
Yeah.
great.
No, it depends. Is it like my favorite 5 comedians or the 5 comedians I consider the best of all time?
Right.
Which one?
You
I
said,
thought that
you
was
said
a
that like
statement.
Yeah.
you
No,
said
no,
that
my
like-
bad.
I took it as what are you looking for? Yes.
Are you saying who are my favorite comedians, or who do I think, divorcing myself from it, do I think are the 5 best comedians?
I don't know. Whatever you want.
All right.
That's a lot of thinking. I'm
You're the
too big
host.
on
I don't know.
it. Give me your 5 favorite.
Bill Burr, George Carlin,
Mm-hmm.
Dave Chappelle. Just for the sake of just because of Raw alone, Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah.
Is it Louis C.K.? I don't know. Maybe Louis C.K. or Chris Rock. It's kind of a toss up there.
Yeah. I would say we have the exact same top 5.
Yeah.
Well, I'd go Louis C.K. over Chris Rock though. He'd be in for 5.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it feels like sacrilege not to have Pryor on there, but it's just never been mine. He's just never
He
been
was
my bag.
he was before our time. Like
Yeah.
I've watched some of his stuff, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just different. You know, like I wasn't around in the 70s. But I think
Did either of you guys go Eddie Murphy?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
No Dave
I
Chappelle
was-
for you guys?
They
I
said
had Dave Chappelle too.
Murphy.
Were you even listening?
I
Yeah.
was, but I was looking at also comedians.
Murphy, Chappelle, Bill Burr, Eddie Murphy. Said that
I
already.
had Carlin on there.
Carlin and CK.
Yeah, so I do like Norm Macdonald. I do like Anthony Jeselnik.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Who's the other? I already said his name. I can't think of who. Jim Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries.
Yeah.
Other than that, truthfully, I don't know who I watch
Yeah.
and who I like. Because there's been a couple people, like I might like Tom Segura a lot.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's him.
Oh, Jim Gaffigan.
I do like Jim Gaffigan.
He's fucking great.
You know what? I do like Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
I really do.
He's so weird. He's hilarious.
He's great. Because like he's good at making fun of, like he knows that he's gonna get up there and talk funny, and he makes fun of it. It's fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
incredible.
He gets up
Well, like
and he
when we
has
were
such
in
a
college.
light voice when he
Why are
talks
they
about
doing
things.
that?
Yeah.
The stick is getting old.
Is he gonna talk about food the whole time?
So I like Patton Oswalt's not bad either.
Yeah, he's pretty good. For
Yeah.
I like the whole sandwich Joe thing he does. Jesus
Oh,
is
yeah.
Jesus is a sidekick that got written out of the Bible. It's like, do we really need to lose Sandwich Joe? Have Sandwich Joe? Why don't we just give the food powers to Jesus and get rid of him?
I don't know who my 5 would be because like, as you get older, your comedy taste changes. Obviously, like
Yeah.
that's like a big thing.
Yeah.
So like, if you go by like who I liked at one point, it's gonna suck.
So Cousin
Like, if I
Skeeter's
say
not on
that.
the list anymore.
Yeah.
I used to like Ron White too.
Yeah.
I don't think I would watch anymore.
Yeah. Well, those guys were the ones that kind of got the ball rolling in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
To like bring comedy more like mainstream TV wise at
Yeah.
least. Ron White, Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy. Those are the blue collar comedy.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
liked Larry the Cable Guy though.
I was never a big fan.
Yeah.
John
What's his
Mulaney.
name? Like Walter or something in real life? I feel like he has like a.
So yeah, he's like from the Northeast.
Yeah.
You said about to say John
Yeah,
Mulaney.
John Mulaney's
He's
like a
pretty
good one right now for me.
Yeah. I soured on him after his latest special.
What the one with the
He
kids?
He was like too theatrical for me.
Or I like
Like the one. So his first one. I don't know if it was his first one, but his first one on Netflix, I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
But the second one that came out, I think last year, it was just too much. Like everything is up and his arms are going, and he's always changing the inflection in his voice, and it's like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
What do you? This isn't. I'm not watching theater. Like I want to watch a comedy show.
He's a theater guy.
I know. So like
Yeah,
that,
that's why
it's just him.
Yeah.
And some people like that, and that's fine, but it's just not for me.
But
Like,
'cause
I didn't
that's
like
who
it.
he is in Big Mouth too. It's the
Right.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And what is it? Oh hello, him and the creative Big Mouth. Why can't I think of his
Nick
name?
Kroll?
Nick
Nick
Kroll.
Kroll,
They
yeah.
just do like a 2-man show. It's fucking amazing. I don't
Have
know.
you guys seen Bumping Mics?
No.
No, I was
That's
looking for that.
hilarious.
That's got what's his
Jeff Ross,
David Tell the man.
David Tell. So
He's a good one.
David Tell is the guy that if you ask any like actual comedians,
He's a comedian, right?
they say
Yeah.
like, who's your favorite comedian? Who do you guys think is the best? They all say David Tell.
Well, he always had a show on Comedy Central because they respect him so much. They always fit
Yeah.
out. He's a comedian.
I would say,
Yeah.
did any of you actually ever watch Insomniac?
I was on
I've
too
seen
late.
a couple
Too late.
episodes, yeah. But yeah, I think outside of Bumping Mics, I haven't really seen much of his stuff. Like, I don't know if he shoots specials. Like, I think he just does shows on the road all
Yeah.
the time, you know?
Yeah,
Maybe
they
he might
use
just
clubs.
He might just do live and TV shows.
Yeah,
And now he's probably winding down. I mean, what the fuck does he need to keep going for?
I know. I wonder
Outside
how
of
much money he
paychecks.
has. He doesn't drink anymore either. He had a bit of a problem.
Huge problem.
He was too good at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was really good at drinking. So he's not anymore guy.
Yeah, I mean, we suck at it, so.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks that Drake and Johnny Depp, it seems like.
Yeah.
That's a good trick.
He looks like shit now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
he got his finger chopped off by that crazy aqua lady.
have you guys ever talked about that on here?
No, what
The
happened?
fucking Johnny Depp Amber Heard saga?
Mm-mm.
Sorry.
You know what? I forgot about
I've
that.
heard, I've heard little bits and pieces about it, but I never really followed it. That
So the
close.
lady who played Mirror in Aquaman, her and Johnny Depp met and they got married. So she's about, like, what, 15, 20 years younger than
She's
Johnny
like
Depp?
25 to 28 now.
Something.
She's hot. And
But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
right at the moment.
so anyways, so within like 2 years of
Johnny
getting
Depp's
married,
like
they got
50.
divorced because Amber Heard was claiming that Johnny Depp was like assaulting her and all that type of stuff.
Right, but then she beat him up.
Yeah, so first Johnny Depp's name gets dragged to the mud, and he's basically got fired off Pirates of the Caribbean and all that shit. And I was like, oh, Johnny Depp's like a wife beater. Then he just released the audio showing that he's like trying to stay out of the fight, but she's like threatening to beat the shit out of him, beat the
Also,
shit out of him.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp
Just throwing shit out.
is a very small person.
Yeah, he's,
Yeah.
He might be like 5'6", 5'7", like 150
yeah,
pounds.
he's like a
Like he's small. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not big.
He does sound like an asshole on the audio, like just like one of those people who's just like, so
Also,
this, why do we need to do that? Come on, like,
Yeah.
He's not small. That's average. We're average, by the way. Change your nomenclature.
Yeah.
Find it racist.
He's no Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is fucking tiny.
No, whoa, average.
You might be. You're probably bigger than Tom Cruise.
I think he's 5'5".
Yeah. Well, I think he's listed like on like the Googles as like 5'6", which
Is this like?
which means he's 5'4".
Yeah, I would say. Is this like NFL?
Yeah.
5'11", you're 6'1".
Yeah, or like in high school football, I think I was listed at like 5'10", like 200.
Yeah.
Like what? No, I mean I'm 200 pounds now.
Yeah.
15 years later, but
looking at your picture of yourself, like that's not a.
5'8".
Yeah.
You added 2 inches and like 25 pounds.
Yeah. NBA 7 feet. Yeah, you're 6'10".
Yeah.
As crazy as Tom Cruise is, he should be my hero. Like he's going to space for a movie for the next Mission Impossible. He does all this crazy stuff.
He's basically the second command in a cult.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's
obviously I've never met him, but I've heard people talk about him, and they say that he is the most intense person they've ever met. They're like, he just looks at you and he goes, "This is amazing," and like he like has a conversation and like locks eyes with you, and then you just like feel his end. Like I've heard people have talked about it on different podcasts that I listen to, and they're just like, it is unlike anyone else they've ever met in their entire life. They're like, you meet Tom Cruise and you're like, holy shit, this guy could get me to fucking do anything.
Well, there was a scene in the last Mission Impossible with him and Superman, Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Jumping out of the plane, they have to like fucking fight each other a little bit, like as one passes out.
Yeah.
Like get the chute open. But Henry Cavill wanted to do the same stunt that he learned to do, and Tom Cruise, he probably just said it in passing.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise like came out and said like, "Oh no, you will die if you do this." Like, I had to convince him not to. He probably just said it like, I don't want to do the stunt. No.
Yeah.
He's at 10. He's just
I
having
don't
a
know.
conversation
He's
down there.
always going.
I think he's just fucking mental and full of shit in his head.
I mean, probably.
Oh,
He's
just-
fucking the second in command in Scientology.
I don't think he's seen his daughter in like 9 or 10 years.
Is he
Yeah.
second in command?
No, he's just like-
Travolta and him, the number twos together.
Yeah.
So David
Number
Miscavige is
2.
the leader, but like Tom Cruise gets to do whatever he wants because he brings in the most members for Scientology or something.
Yeah, so he's gonna have his own mega planet
Yeah.
after he dies.
We'll rival him with our banana religion. Banana Bombay.
Banana Bombay, Banana West.
Banana
Do
West.
more-
Banana Kanye.
Do Mormons get their own planets too, or
Fuck, you get your own planet for Scientology?
I thought that's what it is. Scientology it's which one is it? Is that Mormons? Did I fuck that up?
No, Mormons.
There's one of them. When you die, you get your own planet.
It's gotta be Scientology.
I thought
Which also
Mormons are-
sounds like very not that. Well, I mean,
crazy for Scientology, but
I mean, it could be. I was gonna say, if you get an entire planet by yourself, can you imagine living on the world by yourself?
I think
alone?
part of their plan is you
Like,
can
that's
think,
kinda like
you
a
can
punishment.
think yourself to another planet to visit people. Like fucking soul.
I want to think real hard.
An alien soul goes
So we all
faster.
become Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
yeah, you don't know what they
Or
plan.
Ego.
Hey,
I don't know. Maybe you plan
Yeah,
to filled
Kurt
with
Russell.
servants
Yeah,
or something.
I
I don't know.
know. I fucking love Kurt Russell. He's a fucking daddy.
oh yeah. Up in the 80s until now, he's like the same person.
Yeah.
Never changed.
You know, I just thought of that. I think Bill kind of looks like Kurt Russell.
No.
Not really.
Hair, yeah. He has.
Really?
Maybe with a beard.
If
Yeah,
Bill,
with the beard and the hair.
if Bill slicked the sides to make it more mullet-like,
So
he would have.
but
the
Kurt
hair.
Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when he had the beard and the hair.
Yeah, his
Kinda
hair is
looks like
definitely mullet-esque all the time. Yeah, if you do that, if you get
Maybe.
Bill to like slick it back and get
Yeah.
the sides nice and tight.
Yeah. I
Bill
think I
Daddy.
can pull it off. Get the Silver
Stearns.
Fox going.
Mm.
Kurt Stearns.
Staring some Bill Russell. Ooh,
Oh,
Ooh.
wait, that's Bill Russell.
until he got tall.
That was hilarious. So Paul Pierce came out last week or earlier this week, I think.
And
And
LeBron.
and yeah, so he was on a TV show, and they were like, "Oh, who are your top 5 basketball players of
Oh,
all
yeah.
time?" And he goes, "Well, it's Michael, it's Kareem, and then Magic, Bill Russell, and Kobe." And everyone was like, "What about LeBron?"
Why would he say that? He beat him like every time.
So it's like, but so you're looking at the argument, like Paul Pierce, literally, he played against 4 of those guys. He played
Yeah.
against.
He didn't play.
He played
against
against
Oh, Russell.
MJ, Kobe, and LeBron. So he played against the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And he used to dominate LeBron when they would
Yeah.
play. I mean,
Their-
there
their
were games
defense-
too where like they both. I think one of the games. It's the only time ever in the playoffs, one of the playoff games that opposing players both scored over 40 points.
Mm.
Like I think Paul Pierce had like 43 and LeBron had 41 or something.
Yeah.
But like Pierce always played LeBron really well.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna trust him. Like he played against an older MJ, but
Mhm.
Pierce was drafted in '98, so he was there for the '98 team when they won the title. So he played against them then,
Well, I do know that.
and he played against them obviously when he was old on the fucking Wizards. But
Because I did hear that Pierce and LeBron like really don't get along either, though.
yeah, no,
So
they
I don't know
really
if
don't
it's
like
sour
each other.
grapes.
I mean,
It definitely has something to do with it, but still, like I don't understand where everyone comes from that, and they're like, oh no, it's LeBron. It's like, yeah, but he only has what, 3 rings?
3.
Yeah, and like, it's not like his numbers are out of this fucking world either. Like they're obviously really big. He's a Hall of Famer.
yeah, he's gonna be like the top 10, I think.
But I think people look at it as far as
What they see right now.
athletic ability.
Yeah, that too.
So like, I have no doubt in my mind that he is potentially the most athletic person to ever play in the
Physically
NBA.
dominated,
He's
yeah.
a physical specimen. He's 6'9", 250 pounds. He's shredded.
Mm.
Like he can jump 42 inches in the air. Like physically,
He tackles people.
yeah, he probably is. I mean, I know Nikos would probably be able to make the argument for Shaq in like,
Yeah, Shaq's
02, but
heavy.
Yeah, when he was like 7 feet,
yeah, 300
300
pounds.
whatever pounds.
Yeah, before he hit 4 bills.
Yes.
When he was 4 bills on the Celtics.
Yeah.
Useless.
But but like people look at that with LeBron and they're like, oh, he's a physical specimen. That means he's the greatest to ever play. It's like, I mean, no.
Well, it'd be a good what
Those
if
are
if he
kind of
could-
2 different arguments.
If he could play, if somehow good what if in the 90s, if he physically could compete, but if he could mentally compete with them, just knocking him around the
Right.
whole
Could
time.
you imagine him going against MJ? MJ would just talk shit to him the entire time.
Yeah, so that was the one thing. It's like we all know LeBron's soft.
Yeah.
So it's like a little chicken or the egg thing. Is he soft because he's allowed to be soft?
Yeah, it's soft for the time.
Like if he grew up when MJ's time, would he have had no choice but to be tough?
Right. I don't know. He probably couldn't handle it from Bird, let alone Jordan. Bird was a fucking...
He was probably worse.
He was a class A shit talker.
They have a lot in common with the whole like being a dickhead to the teammates. Like he's like not a dickhead, but in charge of like I'm fucking building something here.
Yeah.
So he has that quality of MJ.
It's a
So,
lot.
He might have fit in the 90s.
It's a lot
right?
easier too to do that in the NBA because there's only 15 guys on the roster.
Yeah.
I think. So, I mean, one guy can take over
Mhm.
and just run the team.
Pretty much.
You can't even. I mean, you can make the argument someone like a Brady or a Manning
Well, those are quarterbacks. So like that's usually.
could do that in the NFL, but even still, like, you can't.
Yeah.
You know,
It's the
Basketball.
whole defense.
Basketball's the only
there's
sport.
90 guys in a football roster. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way you can have one guy just kind of like take over everything.
Yeah, there's so many variables because it's even like take Pat Mahomes and put him on this Patriots team.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be the same Pat Mahomes.
Right.
He has the fastest fucking wide receivers in the league right now.
Yeah, it's just different. And then baseball is totally like,
That's
well,
an
you see it a little
individual
bit in football with like offense and defense. Like they kind of like, they're almost like 2 different teams.
Yeah.
But like definitely in baseball, like there's players that don't even fucking talk to the pitchers because they're separated. They're
Yeah,
like
they're always
physically
in the-
separated. They're always in the fucking bullpen.
Yeah, you see him once a week in
Yeah.
your bullpen.
Yeah.
Your dugout.
And then you have like the position players that just hang in the dugout. So like they're literally never together.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's weird. Basketball, I think, is the only one where you could do that. And then hockey, people don't give a fuck. Guys are just like, let's just go
Yeah.
beat the brains out of each other.
And you're always changing lines. So.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on your line now.
Yeah.
Let's go score some pucks.
What the puck?
Bury the biscuit, boys.
Frida.
Let me see what else I got over here, buddy. You know what's funny is last Tuesday, Joe Rogan announced that he's going to Spotify exclusively in the
Oh, yeah.
fall, and he's coming off of YouTube. So I've watched the Joe Rogan show on YouTube now, like almost every day, whatever he has, if he has a good guest on. Since he made that announcement, YouTube has been like littering his videos with ads.
All
So
right.
like I used to watch, I would be able to go through a whole
Yeah, there was never
3.5 hour podcast with Joe Rogan,
Mhm.
and there's just YouTube ads at the beginning and the end. Now all of a sudden, since he made the statement he was leaving at the end of the year, it's like every 7.5 minutes
Yeah.
there's
brutal.
there's an ad break.
Brutal.
It's so bad. It's like YouTube is telling, they're giving a fuck you right back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And they're also trying to maximize the money they're gonna get
I wonder if
because he's gonna be gone in a couple months too. So it's like a
That's more of a fuck you than anything though, because if you know it's gonna be ads every 10 minutes,
yeah,
Yeah,
on
might
a
as well
2-hour
go
podcast,
with
why would you
Apple.
watch?
right.
I mean, I just watch like the clips though, like you know, like they put like Joe Rogan talks or something. It's like a 5-7 minute clip or something.
Yeah.
one topic.
I never really watched like the full stream,
Yeah.
so the commercial not that bad.
How much did their stock go up? Do you remember? You told me on the golf course.
Billion?
Before he made the announcement, I think it was trading at like around $130 a share. And as of last Friday, it was like $193 a share.
Jesus Christ.
So it jumped up like $63 a share.
Imagine having that kind of difference in the world. Like, that's my value right there. You can see it on
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
Look at me.
what's pretty funny is, so after that too, we were watching The Fighter and the Kid, and they were making a joke. So like they came out and said that like, or it leaked, quote unquote, that he signed $100 million deal, like $100 million a year. And Brendan Schaub on Fighter and the Kid just starts laughing, and they go, he's way off. They're way off. Not even close. Not even
Yeah.
a ballpark. And then later in the show, I forget which one it was, but one of them like made a comment and was like, "Imagine you making $200 million a year," and then he like stopped and caught himself and then like tried to play it off. So like they pretty much said that it's a $200 million a year deal.
Yeah.
And that's just from the licensing deal for his podcast to Spotify. That's
1 year.
not his ads. That's not his stand-up or commentating on the UFC.
Dude, he's almost an NFL franchise. An NFL franchise gets $256 million a year just for existing.
Yeah, he probably makes more
No,
between stand-up and the UFC
if they
and his ads
if
on his podcast. He's got to make at least
well, what's
$80 to $100 million a year just on ads, on ad revenue.
I mean, I'll just pull it up. Just remember, those NFL teams, they make a fuck
Yeah.
of money.
It really sucks that banks and digital money exist because he would have so much money lying around. I would just go over.
Imagine his
I found a
Federal
bushel
Reserve.
of dollars here.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to be paid in gold.
Yeah. Joe Rogan just starts printing his own money.
Yeah.
He goes, "Fuck the Federal Reserve. We're using
got his face
Rogan
on.
dollars."
Yeah, got his face on it.
So one of them's gone rogue. They figured out this money scam.
It's kind of weird though that like no one else has ever tried that. Or I'm sure someone has. along
Tried
the
what?
line, to like make new money. To make
Bitcoin.
It's
different
called
money.
counterfeiting, isn't it?
Yeah. No. I mean
Is
like.
it called
uh,
Bitcoin?
Giving.
Well, yeah,
giving-
not Bitcoin.
well,
Bitcoin is coming
giving
too,
value
but
to
that's more of
something.
like a worldwide thing. Like no one in the U.S. has ever been like, you know what? I don't really like the dollar. I'm gonna make the Flupel mark now. Like we're gonna use Flupel marks, and like I'm gonna print this and start giving it to people. You know what I mean? Like it's not really ever happened.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out and then back something with it.
Yeah.
We can if Joe Rogan can do it.
Yeah.
we can do it.
Dude, so
Like house bucks.
obviously, because this deal hasn't gone through yet, or this doesn't reflect it, he's only worth $50 million. Joe Rogan.
No, that's not true.
Right.
That those numbers are way off. So that's like a whole thing too. Is that like a Wikipedia? Because they've done that on Fighter and the Kid, and they've gone on and like looked themselves up their net worth, and like one of them, I forget which, I think it was Brendan Schaub. It came up and it said it was like worth $9 million, and he goes, "That's funny." So like none of that stuff is accurate.
Well, it's hard to know because unless his tax returns go public,
Right.
which I need. But yeah, I'm not seeing anyone with the idea that it's more than 50.
Usually I always do person's net worth and it's usually close, but that's comedian, not podcasts, which is a little bit harder.
Right.
But
right.
more than 100 million, that's a loose number, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Something
because
like
he's
that.
he just had signed that deal too.
that's probably
Yeah.
depending on when.
But no one knows how much the deal's worth either though.
Right.
So
Roughly
He's worth at least-
200 million a year.
He's worth at least $200 million.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
have you seen any of the Call Her Daddy stuff?
Didn't they get a new
I've
daughter?
been following it a little bit. I never watched the show.
I
listened to
never
it.
did either.
But it's I follow Portnoy and I follow all those like guys on Instagram, and it's just been blowing up on my Instagram.
Yeah, I read an article about it this morning,
Yeah.
and I guess the way it all went down, because I know we saw it, but we didn't know anything. So their deal with Barstool was expiring, and the way it really went was the girl with the black hair.
Sophia.
Okay, she wanted to leave Barstool basically.
Yeah.
And the other one is Alex.
Yep.
Okay. Alex Cooper, is that her name?
Yeah.
Why?
So Alex went into the meeting with Portnoy like, okay, what are you offering us?
Yeah.
And they like left, and Sophia's like, yeah, no. And she's like, Alex is like, yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's like some douche from HBO that he's just killing right now on
Yeah. Suit man.
and
Yeah.
like she wanted, like, so Sophia wanted to figure out her shit. Alex was like, no, let's do it. But what actually also came out too is they weren't making the same money.
Yeah.
Because
But it's because Alex was making more, but she was doing more.
She was
doing
editing
like,
and-
editing and producing.
yeah,
And shit,
so you know that could obviously have been part of it, but you know she's probably gonna make $500,000
Oh yeah.
this
yeah.
year,
She'll be
plus whatever comes in through other, like that's just her pay.
They're doing
That's nice.
they're doing open auditions too at Barstool right now. Portnoy sent out like a video and was like, "Send us your stuff and we'll see if we'll hire you maybe."
They like one of our voices.
Yeah. Send him an episode. Well, originally he said he's looking for females, which
Yeah.
makes sense because he has to replace that show and the company is predominantly male.
Oh,
Yeah.
how could he? How could
Yeah.
he? How could he only pick women?
It's so sexist.
So sexist.
Well, they
It
can
makes me
shout-
fucking
You know
sick.
what's hilarious too is he posted a picture of like a cutscene from Entourage with Billy Walsh, and Billy Walsh was wearing a T-shirt that said "fuck suits," and Portnoy was like, Billy Walsh had it figured out from the beginning.
Yeah, what it's like Philip Nelson or something. He's just killing this guy.
Yeah,
But he was the one who basically split them up. But Alex is coming back. She's just gonna do it alone
right.
until
right.
they potentially hire out or.
Yeah, they're gonna bury the collar daddy thing. Like that's gone.
No, I think it's back.
He's gonna give her that show. Oh,
Yeah.
because he made a video last week, and was like, Alex can come back. He goes, fuck it. Even Sophia could come back on the network, but Caller Daddy's dead.
I think
He might have come around.
I think he did.
Yeah.
And you know, I wouldn't be surprised him to be like, you know, jump to conclusions,
Right,
roll up
right.
the mat.
Right.
But no, I think what I read, I think it was a New York Post article. I think she's coming back to Caller Daddy alone right now.
They could have a segment like, and they could get one of us as a guy and be like, I said it last night, call him mommy. That's it. I knew I'd call him mommy. Do it.
Just call into the show. Are you my mom?
That's even better than me going to like LA for it. Not the
LA?
LA. Do they do it in LA or New York? I know Barstool's
New York.
based
Oh,
in
yeah.
New York. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where all they get most people to do their filmings.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you like what the brand does, because I guess so. Alex put out a video like, "Hey, I'm coming back," and I think she said, "See you fuckers on Wednesday." Like that's how it
Oh
ended.
yeah, so
And they're already selling sweatshirts that say "See you fuckers on Wednesday."
Yeah. They're awesome. Barstool is fucking. They're so good at branding and marketing and all that shit. Like they're wild. They sell so many fucking t-shirts. Like Dave Portnoy made a joke about him and Elon Musk running for president in 2024, which is a legit joke because Elon Musk is South African. He can't run for
Right.
president.
oh, yeah.
And people were demanding the shirts so bad
that he made
that
them.
he made them. And now they're selling t-shirts that say Portnoy Musk 2024. And they're fucking flying off the shelves. That's just Barstool. Like that, they just capitalize that market. Like it's just such a good, I don't know, it's a good fucking
Good
way to
model.
do it. Yeah. It's a great fucking model. Obviously it works for them. And then so we talked about it on the last episode where we tried to we came up with like they had 6 shows off the top that we could come up with off the top of our head. There's way fucking more than that.
I figured.
Like there might be like 15. Because I was in the car with Jamie
There's
yesterday.
a poker one too that I forgot about. Cracking Aces.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because we went to Wacky Deli, and Jamie had the Dave Portnoy show on.
He had,
So there's one
didn't
called the
even know
Dave Portnoy show.
I didn't even know he had one.
Yeah. So it's like there's got to be at least 15, if not more.
You
on
think
it.
they're interested in Make Your Own Religion channel?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can do.
But Kanye West.
We got our pilot ready.
Yeah.
We can think of a bunch, one a week.
A bunch, like a bunch of bananas.
Shit, our religion could be a religion based on religions. We worship the
Other
idea of religion.
Guys,
Not
we really love the idea of religion.
Our religion, our God.
Everyone needs religion.
Your God is called God. Our God is called religion.
God is my religion.
Worship it. Worship it redundantly.
You want to start wrapping this up?
Yeah. So, I think it was last week. I watched Venom,
Mm-hmm.
and I also watched Birds of Prey.
Okay.
So, does anyone else get the feeling that outside of Marvel, the Avengers, like that, and like that,
No one knows how to make a superhero
no
movie.
one can make a superhero movie?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, Venom, it wasn't bad, it wasn't great. I haven't seen Birds of Prey.
So Birds of Prey is
Wasn't that-
actually better
I heard it was good.
than I thought.
Mm.
It came out a little bit better than I thought.
They
It
just
got
couldn't.
crushed
They couldn't
when it came out.
advertise it. Is what I heard.
Well, the name sucked.
Well,
Yeah.
They
my,
changed the name.
Well, my
we
fault.
talked about that on the
Yeah.
show.
it was the emancipation of Harley Quinn or some
But it was like the
Yeah.
it was like the fantabulous emancipation of
Miss Harley Quinn.
one. Yeah.
Well, it's from
like,
her point of view, and so they decided, hey, let's have the title be from her point of view, what she would say.
Well,
And she's an insane person.
That's my
Yeah.
problem too, because Harley Quinn doesn't have anything to do with the Birds of Prey. So it's just sort of like I feel like they're just whoring that character out so much. Like
Yeah.
She's like the new Mystique for a fucking.
yeah, it's like fucking
Yeah.
everywhere.
Come
Like,
on.
Yeah.
But no, it was a little bit better than I thought it was gonna be because I thought it was gonna be terrible, and the reason I watched it was to see how terrible it was gonna be.
yeah.
But it was a little bit better. Ewan McGregor was pretty brutal.
As
Like,
Black Mask was he?
Like he was. I thought he was good. The character is brutal.
Oh yeah.
Like violent.
Like he cuts faces off.
Oh shit, nice.
Like that's his thing.
I didn't know they
That's
go
what
there.
that's what gets him off at night.
Oh fuck yeah.
And they
He
actually
doesn't
like
get
show
that.
it at
It's
one
a
point
change.
too.
Huh.
But it's just like you watch these movies and I'm just like, man, how the fuck is? And I know Venom is Marvel, but it's not the same. I don't think it's the MCU.
Same.
No,
right?
so
No, it's
Sony distributes it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, how does the MCU get it so good, and the rest of these movies can't fucking pull it off?
Their
Yeah.
production, the people in the offices just fuck it up.
What's that guy's
Every
name?
time.
Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige.
Feige.
Yeah.
He's a fucking stud.
Yeah.
He's the director of fucking Marvel.
Even
or
the guy
whatever.
before him or whatever was
Well,
before.
I think it's
him
like a
with
combination of a couple different things. Number one, they found a successful formula, so you're gonna be pretty much getting that type of 4-quadrant movie every time now.
Yeah.
But they also they paid good attention to like continuity and like
Yeah.
characters stay consistently the same character from movie to movie, so people are like, okay, it's episodic, I gotta catch the next one.
Yeah.
But they also kind of let directors like kind of do different things in it too. Like they let Taika Waititi do like all types of nut shit with Thor and
Yeah.
when we did Doctor Strange, that looked like fucking Inception or something.
I think
Well, they made him.
Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh, that's the one.
changed the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because so all of the movies that came out before Ragnarok, or most of them I should say, because you had the 3 Iron Mans,
Mhm.
the 2.
Well, dude, Ragnarok was one of the later ones.
Well, they made
Yeah,
it.
that was right
they
before.
made
That was
it-
right before Infinity War.
Oh,
I think
really?
I think Guardians is what really changed
Okay,
it
yeah.
because
Yeah, Ragnarok was probably
'cause that was space. It was,
20
There's no connection. No background.
18?
Well, they fixed. Oh, that's what it was. They fixed like the Thor movies because the first 2
Yeah,
Thor
they were
movies
dark.
weren't that good.
garbage.
Dark second one.
The second one was so bad. The Dark World.
I've never even watched it.
that
I
was
don't.
so
I don't
bad.
think I care to.
I did think
And then
that.
Ragnarok just fucking blew it out of the water, and then they were like, "Oh, people like when we do funny things.
Yeah.
Let's not take it serious.
Let's
It's a comic book.
let's do this now." And then it just fucking exploded.
You know what I thought was one of the best like kind of troll moments though from Avengers Endgame, Because really, like, you only need to see like 7 movies to really understand what's going on in Avengers Endgame. It turns out that one of the movies that you needed to see was the worst Thor movie.
The Dark World.
They go back to the second Thor movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
like it's pretty much that's like number 1 on everyone's list of Marvel movies that you can just skip this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not anymore. It's like, yeah, go back and watch that.
Yeah, I've never seen Dark World.
It's terrible.
It's so bad.
That's why.
Yeah.
But I think I heard Natalie Portman's getting something now.
Yeah,
She's gonna be Lady Thor, and well, I mean, Chris Hemsworth's still gonna be Thor in the movie, but Thor was a girl for a while, so Natalie Portman's gonna be the Thor girl, and I'm sure Thor's gonna be doing something else.
Oh, so maybe I don't have to actually watch it then.
Nah, it's gonna be good. Taika Waititi's doing it.
No, I mean like I don't have to watch Dark World.
Oh, you don't have to watch that.
Okay.
Well. I wouldn't waste your time.
So I honestly, I think I've said this before, like way before on an old show, but I am actually not that excited for the next round of Marvel movies. Like I don't think they're gonna be all.
I mean, a lot of them look kind of shitty.
Yeah.
I like.
There's the one with what is it? The Eternals. That Kit Harington is gonna be.
Did he
Like
kinda-
Jon Snow
And
is
like
now a fucking
Angelina
superhero.
Jolie, who's kind of past her time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well-
then so the only one I'm sure I'm forgetting
Yes.
one,
It's ripped.
but the only one I was actually interested in seeing was Black Widow.
Oh
See,
yeah,
that-
fucking.
See, I actually wasn't
Yes.
even that, I'm not even that interested in that
I'm
one
not
because it's
interested.
like, well, I know she dies in like the end game, so all the suspense in this thing is
Right.
like I know nothing that bad's gonna happen to her because she doesn't even talk about it for the rest of the movie series.
Oh,
Like, you know what I mean?
My thing is like I think everyone's anticipating like, oh, Captain America goes back in time in the end credits and like grabs her real quick and says, hey, fucking, we'll bring you back.
Maybe, but that would
Just
feel
retcon it
that would feel cheap.
Cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that would be.
Everyone's died so far. and they come back.
I don't know. I think
That would be
They brought
literally
back-
like a beer fest move.
that would be a terrible.
I'm playing Phil's twin brother.
Yeah.
I know
You
so
guys-
much about you guys. You guys can just call me.
Can
Yeah,
you
why don't
guys,
you just call me
can you guys
Landfill?
do me a favor?
That's-
Can you call me Landfill?
Oh no, what's his answer? He told me so much about you guys that I feel like I already know you, so there won't be that awkward getting to know you phase.
Oh, Landfill 2, you're more than the man Landfill 1 ever was.
So he turns around, he tells the finish like, "Shut up, college boy." It's like, I thought you went to college. That's a great movie.
That's gonna be one of my favorite movies ever.
I think my favorite part's when they're like, it's like, I haven't seen you since Hands Across America, right?
Yeah.
Hands Across America. We almost made it, just a couple links in the chain.
Oh man, it's so we just watched that like a couple weeks ago. It was so fucking good.
It could have been like 3 months ago.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, it could have been 6 years ago. We don't know.
Time has
stopped.
no.
Doctor Strange forgot to turn the time
Yeah.
back on.
Is he doing this right now?
Yeah.
Is he bored with all this time off?
You got a final thought?
Me? No.
Do you have a final thought?
I mean, you can pull up the phone that everyone hates when I say stuff from there for my thoughts. I wrote on the plane because I was bored. I think I said it yesterday, but like the easiest way to explain having kids, like the most simple way. I pump them in, you pump them out. If you're ever explaining to a kid someday.
I pump them in.
Like if you
pump
say it
them
to your
out.
daughter. I pump them in, you pump them out.
Well, that's
You're
really.
gonna say to your daughter,
Not to you.
and you pump.
He pumps them in, you pump them out.
I don't know if I like the use of this word "pump" when you're talking to these kids about this. They're kids.
They're kids. They're children.
It's bees and the birds. You gotta
But that
talk
only-
about it anyways.
But that only works if it's male female. What if it's male male?
I'm not having kids.
I pump them in, you pump
Spit
them
it out.
You spit it out.
I pump it in, we go the divorce. We go the adoption agency.
I pump it in. We both lie to our families.
I pump it in, you don't fucking pump it in. I'm not here.
We'll never tell our wives.
I pump it in, you pump it in on your birthday. That's about it.
All right, I like that. That's a great one.
There's something to branch off there.
So I got this came out the other day. This shit just keeps getting better and better. This is amazing. So the CDC came out like 3 days ago,
Here we go.
and they said that the coronavirus doesn't spread on surfaces.
Oh yeah, or it's less likely now. It's yeah.
So this entire time they're like, yeah, by the way, guys, yeah, you're good.
There was no
Surface,
point in the
yeah.
quarantine.
Yeah, there's turns out it doesn't live on surfaces. Guess we really didn't need to, wipe down everything all the time.
Washing your hands wasn't that big.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the announcement in like 3 months. We're like, guys, we fucked up. We got it wrong. It was just a bad cold. That's all it was.
Guys, we overreacted because you were washing so well. We fucked up. You keep washing.
Yeah.
Well, so
I saw something. Oh, yeah, you go.
Well, no, I just saw like today that I think the New York Times, their cover was, or their big thing today, this morning, was the list of everyone who's died. Because I think it's hit 100,000 Americans. It does still fucking piss me off. They go, oh, well, what about so nothing for the families who 80,000 families who died of the flu this year? It's like, dude.
Yeah, get over yourself.
I'm not talking about that right now.
Yeah.
They're trying to sell a magazine, like, number one. Like, no one gives a shit about you.
Yeah.
The flu's old news. Come on.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck about the flu.
So the other
What
thing.
about all the people that died of AIDS? Let's put that
Yeah.
out there.
Oh, and then the other thing on that list, someone did, and I thought this was funny. That was annoying. This is funny. Someone goes, I wonder how far down the list you have to go to find someone who died of like a gunshot or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
6.
Nice.
6 people down the list. Someone died of whatever while having.
I saw
Yeah.
that someone posted something on Instagram. It was like a screenshot of like an article, and the person died of a gunshot wound, but they listed the cause of death as coronavirus.
Wow.
It's like last I checked, if you die from getting shot, you
died by getting shot.
Cause of death is the gunshot wound.
What if you got shot in the shoulder and the coronavirus is the nail in the coffin?
Well, I got shot.
He would have made it.
But I got
Yeah,
shot, and the
but-
coronavirus, they let it in.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
coronavirus was in me at that point.
I saw something too. Someone posted and goes, "Hey, what are the odds that people still care about coronavirus after the election?"
Someone did say that.
And I was like, that's a hot take.
Yeah, but I'll be honest.
It's too hot when it's the whole world, though.
I'll dismantle that too, because if you think it's like a democratic thing, I mean, you're shutting down California, places like California, that was already like gonna go blue no matter what. You know what I mean? So there's no reason to tank that economy.
Right.
I mean, Al Qaeda's been like on the down low lately. So if you're putting down terrorism,
I thought Al Qaeda was on our side now because of
no,
ISIS.
that's. I mean,
Is ISIS still a thing? Do we still care?
they're still
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah, they still exist.
See, there's a lot of shit in the world to be afraid of. It just depends what you need to be afraid of this week.
Yeah. There's always something.
What's the most important thing?
Yeah.
So
There's always a bigger fish.
let's break out. Hold on,
Star Wars Episode 2, right?
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
let's break out
With the Gungans.
the tinfoil hats real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Who is to gain with a higher number of coronavirus deaths?
Me, because I don't have to go to school.
It's people. It's the media being able to justify the way it was handled.
I mean, the media.
So
the
does
media
it
can,
benefit the politicians?
Not really.
It benefits the ones that tried to make it seem like it was, the second coming of the fucking Black Plague.
Yeah, but you can always spin it at the end and be like, we did such a good job, and like they can always
Well,
spin.
yeah, but I mean, it gives them, it lets them.
Makes it easier.
So when you're looking back in hindsight, and they're like, well, everything was shut down and things like if the economy does go to shit in like the next year, like 6 to 12 months, we can look. Those people can look back and be like, see, there was 150,000 people that died. Like we needed to do that. Whereas like realistically, of that 150, like maybe like half actually died of coronavirus, and the other half was like other things that they just like the one time we talked about a couple weeks ago too. There was an article that had a paragraph that was talking about like a 26-year-old kid that died of an overdose. The first line in the paragraph said like whatever the kid's name was, died of a heroin overdose. Sentence. The last sentence in the paragraph goes, he was the youngest person in the county to die of coronavirus.
You just said
What?
he died of an overdose.
The first sentence in the paragraph said he died of an overdose.
Yeah, I think we're confusing died of coronavirus with died with
Right.
coronavirus.
Right. Yes.
So do you think the media is willfully convalescing those two terms to like make a bigger number?
Well, that was just my question: is
Yeah.
who is to gain with a higher number of coronavirus deaths?
People that are in favor of government control.
I have a big fucking what if right now. It's so
Yeah.
stupid.
So let's fucking
And it's
deep
so
dive.
topical. The black guy who was jogging, who got shot by like the two hillbilly
Yeah.
father-son guys.
Oh, this is gonna get
Yeah.
real, huh?
So what if the black guy had coronavirus? Stick with me. And they marked him as he died of coronavirus. Did the coronavirus commit the hate crime?
Ooh, that's a hot take.
Well,
the
I'll
coronavirus is racist.
say
It's
this.
the first official coronavirus hate crime.
I will say this.
committed.
Think about this. If they listed his official cause, if they list his official cause of death as died of the coronavirus, then what do you charge the other two guys with?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Because they didn't kill him, the coronavirus killed him.
So
What
you
if
know
they-
what we
what
need
if they
to
gave
do?
it to him because they came into his
We need to find someone that has a coronavirus, and then we can shoot them and kill them.
Just hate
Don't
crime.
worry, guys.
We'll get away with
It's
murder.
not a hate crime.
Good news, you got one right here.
That's how you get away with murder.
Hey,
I meant to tell you.
Yeah. Yes. There we go.
Yeah, coronavirus. Shoot me.
Yeah.
Oh, how about Kim Jong Un, huh? I haven't talked to you guys in a while, but did you
Oh,
guys already
yeah.
talk about that?
No, that was a big
Faking his
dick
death.
move.
That was oh my god, what a
Take out his
stud!
competitors.
Can't even hate on that.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a real big dick move. He's like just faking your death just to find out who doesn't really like you.
It's a loyalty test.
Yeah.
That,
yeah.
See, that's when you know, like, there's some half-ass dictators out there and stuff like that. When you're able to pull a move like that, then you know you're one of the real ones.
Right.
You're a true dictator.
Yeah.
One of the greats.
You're a true piece of shit.
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about his sister and how she became like, whatever Kim Un?
Oh, she was.
has-
People
is-
saying she was gonna be the successor. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were
Yeah.
like doing the thing with anime girls, like, oh, she's like bae or whatever. Like they were like romanticizing her, like, oh, rule me, baby.
She looks
And
scary.
she had a formal like her like
Schoolgirl outfit
pantsuit
thing.
kind of thing. Like,
But, like-
yeah, fucking get me.
What the fuck is up with that family too? Because I remember when Kim Jong Il died,
With the parka.
they were like, "Oh my God, Kim Jong Un, his son is taking over. He's worse." Everyone's like, "Oh, he's worse than his father." And now when they faked Kim Jong Un's death, his sister was supposed to take over. He goes,
She's
"Oh,
worse
she's
than
worse.
She's a
She's worse than
badass.
him."
Well,
How the fuck does everyone just keep getting worse?
well, I will say
It's
this:
because people are fucking dumb and don't actually know anything.
Kim
Yeah.
Jong Un did come in and kill a bunch of his uncles and his brother, so that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I would imagine if you're going to be the leader,
How bad can you really be if you're friends with Dennis Rodman?
I can imagine you could be a pretty big piece of shit. I'm just saying, because I imagine North Korea's not, up on the whole women's lib thing, probably, right? Not the biggest
Probably
feminist.
not. Yeah,
So if you're going to be a woman and lead that country, I would imagine you got to be a huge C word or whatever. The fucking
You gotta be the
It's pronounced
scariest
cunt.
person.
cunt. You got to be a huge cunt to fucking keep people alive.
Yeah, we don't have any sponsors on the show. You can say whatever.
Oh,
good.
Also, if we do get sponsors and they tell us we can't say cunt,
Yeah, they're not
do
our
we want the
sponsors
sponsor?
anymore.
Like, how much of a whore are we?
I just didn't want to kill this gravy train, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't want you guys to get demonetized.
Get shadow banned.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us. So thank you for watching if you're on YouTube. Thanks for listening wherever you're at. Make sure you subscribe on both. Keep spreading the word too. We got a couple people that listen in Australia now. We're big in New Zealand. Kiwis love us. And now we've made it over the ocean, I guess. Yeah, technically.
Over the pond?
We've made it over the ocean from New Zealand to Australia. Even though they're right next to each other.
Yeah, can you walk from one to the other?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just take a really big jump. You get a really big stick, and you just pole vault
Just a big skip.
from New Zealand
I mean,
to
someone has to have a
Australia.
trampoline, right?
Yeah.
I think all you have to do is lay down a jacket and walk across, right?
4,000 miles away, fuckers.
Yeah, so keep telling everyone, spreading the word, and subscribe. And we're on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is Sarcasm_speaks. And then Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. And until next time, good night. Or good afternoon, I guess. It's still daytime.
What is this light?